It's bad enough when a young girl, 13 or 14, is comparing herself to her friends around her at church or in her social circle. But it's really bad when she can compare herself against millions of girls worldwide. There's always going to be somebody that makes you feel bad about yourself, that makes you feel like you don't measure up. And the crazy thing that happened is Snapchat began to produce a filter where at first it was fun and games. It was like a way you would filter your face and you could give yourself cat ears, or you could give yourself a horse head as you spoke. You probably have seen a lot of those. I think now that functionality is even built into simple text messaging. But at the time, it was groundbreaking. And Snapchat claimed that once a person saw your text, it disappeared. So it lured people into that environment where they felt like they were secure and nobody was ever going to see what they were posting. Well, we know that is really not the case. Everything is there forever. There's no such thing as destruction in the internet, I don't think. But be that as it may, girls essentially built avatars of themselves that did not exist. They were able to use filters to create the perfect face. In fact, there are plastic surgeons around the country that say their biggest group of new business were teenage girls that came in with their cell phones and said, I want my face to look like this. And they would show them a screen image of them with some filter on. And it just kind of got ridiculous. The other thing that I think it created, and a lot of other writers agreed that I've read, is that it produced this whole new wave of transgenderism that did not exist. Before 2007, there were no transgender clinics, no public information about girls transitioning to boys. And there never been any studies about it. Whereas on the boys' side, there had been studies done, but there was no scientific information on the impact of on the girls long term or anything else. There was only one transgender clinic that would provide hormone blockers to girls wanting to transition before 2000. Now there are over 300 and growing. And in some states, it's illegal for a clinic to notify parents. So a 12 or 13-year-old girl can walk in off the street and say, hey, I think I'd rather be a boy. She can get hormone blockers, which eliminates her puberty, going through puberty. And we do not even know the long-term effects of this when a girl skips puberty. One of the things I've heard recently, I heard Charlie Kirk interviewing a girl that came up to the microphone on one of his college campuses he was speaking at. And you could tell she was struggling with becoming transgender. And he said, hey, rather than put chemicals in your body and trying to change your body, how about trying to change your mind to match your body? Like the scriptures say, be renewed in your mind. I thought that was a brilliant point. I mean, we live in a culture where people actually think that changing genders is going to fix their problems. And there's enough history on it now to show that it really does not solve all the problems.